Cobus Cronje, a forecaster from the South African Weather Services. Good evening, Cobus. Now, Gauteng has experienced extreme high temperatures. All of a sudden, we have hailstorms in most parts of the province. Can you explain the change of weather patterns?
Good evening. Yes, as you know, for the summer seasons for the northeastern interior, we usually experience showers and thunder showers in the afternoons. And I think the public tends to forget that any thunderstorm can produce hail. Now, what happened today over Gauteng and large parts of the central interior is that we had severe thunderstorms, which can produce large amounts of small hail or large and damaging hail, strong winds, and then also more than 50 millimeters of rain in a very short span of time. For tomorrow, we're not going to continue these severe thunderstorm conditions for Gauteng, but over parts of the central interior, including the western parts of the northwest province, as well as the western half of the Free State, we can experience large and damaging hail, strong winds, and large amounts of rainfall in very short periods of time.
Now, Cobus, other parts of the country, such as the Northwest and the Free State, are also experiencing a drought. So take us through what to expect in those provinces.
Well, yes, you've touched upon it earlier. El Nino is wreaking havoc on parts of our country and certainly most of the southern hemisphere. And it's certainly very possible that while we can have severe thunderstorms over a specific area, that region will also continue to be affected by droughts into the season. As the WMO has mentioned, that we are expecting the El Nino to intensify in December. So, yes, we can see the incidence of severe thunderstorms is certainly increasing. However, that by no means that the drought conditions will be alleviated for the entire season.
Now, Cobus, the World Meteorological Organization has issued a new warning of the El Nino weather pattern, which has already been linked to severe droughts and flooding throughout the world. Can you explain this phenomenon?
Well, basically what happens is, as you've mentioned earlier, the warming sea surface temperatures affects the cloud band and the entire radiation budget of the planet. And that radiation budget and that effect in that ocean is linked to severe weather patterns, not necessarily droughts or floods, sometimes both in the same country. So that radiation budget fluctuates every 2 to 7 years. Now, although it's difficult to say if this will be the strongest El Nino in recorded history, it certainly is a very distinct possibility. And I think that's also why the WMO has upped and renewed the warning for this specific phenomena, as it does, specifically because it can confuse the public and the broader populace with its contrasting weather patterns.
Now, Cobus, according to the WMO, this year's El Nino will be the strongest event since 1998. What does this mean?
Well, this means to us in South Africa certainly that we can expect to experience 1 or 2 more heat waves at least into December, January, February. It also means we can have areas of the country that are severely affected by droughts, where persistent rainfall has not occurred. Not to be confused with the events we're experiencing now. This is a period of a short period of rainfall. We could also see severe thunderstorms as we've had over parts of Gauteng and Mpumalanga and Limpopo this afternoon and evening. So again, contrasting weather patterns, confusing everyone and keeping us at the Weather Service quite busy.
Well, thank you very much indeed. That was forecaster Cobus Cronje from the South African Weather Services talking to us about the weather patterns engulfing the country.